What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Blanco from Sports Match, and I wanted to talk about Virgil. I seen a cool interview on FightHype.com. You know, definitely pay them guys a visit if you can. I've been on that website for many years now. But basically, Virgil gave his point of view on the whole pound for pound thing, and you know, the dumb shit that Teddy Atlas was saying about when y'all remember after I think it was after Crawford knocked out Ndongo. It was Crawford and Ward was talking. They was next to Teddy Atlas, and he gave his pound for pound list, and he had the audacity to, and basically I could respect that he said it in front of them, but he had the audacity to have Lomachenko at number 1, which is completely false and retarded. But yeah, so he did the interview with Fight Hype, and you know, it's a cool interview. Go check it out. But I'ma just run through it for y'all and, you know, let y'all know how I feel about it. But I feel like Virgil said, like, since when are we using people's amateur records to rank them for pound? And this is the thing with Teddy Atlas. Like, is he knowledgeable about boxing? Yeah, he could be. But a lot of people feel like if you're a boxing expert, or you were a trainer before, or if you was a boxer before, well, if you was a boxer before, yes, your insight is more valuable, but you could still say dumb shit. Like George Foreman, he says a lot of dumb shit sometimes. Shout out to George Foreman. I got love for George Foreman, but Big George be bugging out sometimes. But the whole thing is, your amateur record, I don't want to say it's non-existent, but when it comes to ranking you for pound, we never heard no shit like that, and we should never hear no shit like that. I don't give a fuck if he was 1,000 and that's amateurs. It's two different things. Like, that's like, and I don't even want to say what that's like, because the shit is dumb. But anyways, with Lomachenko, like I told you guys, he's a skilled fighter. He has an amazing fight coming up with Guillermo Rigondeaux, my boy, coming up in December. Can't wait to see that. But in all honesty, I'm not hating. I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all. It's hard for me because Rigondeaux is so small. He's a small 122, and he has to jump up to 130 to fight Lomachenko. To be honest with y'all, like, just keep it a buck. I'm not making a prediction right now, but if they were the exact same size, I would pick Rigondeaux. Easy. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, he's sharp. He's a sharpshooter. But anyways, but Virgil touched on a lot of points, but I feel like he didn't have to break down Andre Ward's amateur pedigree to try to compare the two, because in the pound for pound list, like he said, amateurs don't have shit to do with it. But one thing one thing he didn't touch on, I feel like too much focus was on Lomachenko when they mentioned Lomachenko and Terrence Crawford. I feel like dudes is scared to keep it a buck about Bud. I love Bud as a fighter, but I'll treat him like everybody else. Just for an example, I got a friend that's he watches boxing. I would say he's somewhat knowledgeable about boxing, but he was on my ass about the pause or whatever y'all say. But he was getting at me about the Brooke Spence fight, because I told him I'm not for sure who will win. This is before the fight. And he like, no, Spence gonna do this, Spence gonna do that, Spence gonna do that, stop hating. I'm like, I'm not hating. Who did he beat? Like, and this is what I like about Virgil. Like I said in previous videos, you have to let these guys earn their stripes. Y'all giving these guys fucking stripes that they don't deserve. They didn't put no work in to get this shit. And I saw some comments that I liked also under the video, like, for these guys to even be mentioned next to Ward, they have a lot to work to do. A lot. And Lomachenko is kind of okay because he only got 9 fights, but Crawford got the same amount of fights as Ward, but he, to me, still can't be mentioned in the same breath as Ward, resume-wise. Like, this is crazy. I feel like Virgil didn't touch on Crawford, and I feel like what he said, except not the amateur part, but about dudes not being proven enough to be where Ward is at, it should have went for Lomachenko and Crawford. He shouldn't have to not say it about Crawford. There's nothing wrong with just keeping it a buck. Crawford does not need to be even mentioned at no fucking number one. Like, dudes is fucking bugging. I said this shit a million times. Beating Diaz and Postal in a tiny ass Gamboa does not make you number one. You ain't been in there with no real A+ guys. Like, even Canelo been in close fights, but look at who he fucking fought. Like, who else is gonna fight Mayweather, Laura, and Triple G? Like, y'all guys gotta be real with yourself. I feel like this generation, I don't even want to say just this generation, because even my boy he don't understand that guys have to prove themselves. The Spence one, my friend that was talking about Spence, like, even him, he's older than me and he just don't get it. Like, some people just don't get it. He even was talking to me about the Collazo fight, and I'm like, yeah, you know, Spence, I don't want to see it. Spencer knocked Collazo out, and he like, oh, now you want to be on Spence. I told you about Spence. You was hating on Spence. And I'm like, I never hate on Spence because I like Spence. I dare to say I'm a Spence fan. Y'all know how I feel about the fan work when I'm on my channel. But I'm a Spence fan. But you can't call me a hater because I kept it a buck about who he fought. Like, and this is why I hope you guys enjoyed my channel, because I'm a call a spade a spade. I don't give a fuck who I like. Period. Like, you gotta let these guys put the work in. Spence will knock Collazo out, and I'm sticking to it. Now you want to be on Spence? No, it's just Spence beat Brook. Now he's proven. Just like with Luis Ortiz and Wilder. He called me about Wilder. Oh, you know, Wilder fighting Ortiz. And oh yeah, now when Wilder knock his ass out, what you gonna say? I told him I'm gonna say it's a great win. Simple as that. Like, you gotta let guys earn the respect. And once you earn it, I have no problem giving you full credit. I'm not a hater. I'm not biased. I mean, we all, I guess, got biased sometimes, but when it comes to keeping it a buck, I keep this shit a buck. Like, come on, man. Crawford, no. Lomachenko, no. Also, Ward is number one, period. Like, y'all gotta separate yourself from how much I like a guy. Just because you like a motherfucker don't make his resume look any better. I don't give a fuck about Undisputed. I already spoke on that enough. It matters who you beat to become Undisputed. Who was the other champions in your division? If you ain't had no killers in your division, then we don't really care about you being Undisputed. It's a good accomplishment, but it don't mean as much. But like I said, if Crawford goes up, beats Thurman, beats Porter, beats Spence, and you know he's on that track, then yeah, we can start talking about that, him comparing him to Ward. If Lomachenko, even if he beat Rigondeaux, that's the sad part, and I'm not a hater, but it's going to be tough to give him a lot of credit for beating somebody that was small for the 122 division, and they got to jump 2 divisions to fight you. So to me, Lomachenko, it's a beautiful fight, but it's a lose-lose situation for him, and, you know, hopefully he could pull it off for his sake. But Lomachenko needs to beat Rigondeaux. He needs to beat Mikey. It would have been cool if he could have caught Crawford before he moved up, but even though I think Crawford would be too big for him, because Crawford could be considered a weight bully, because on fight night he could weigh 16 pounds over 140. So is he really a 140 pounder? Even when he fought Gamboa, like, these guys, these weight bullies, it's hard to make these weight bullies pound for pound, because you don't know what they really gonna do when they fight a dude their own size, unless talented dude might get them, just because we got to see how they are when they fight people their own size. I know some people gonna say, well, Diaz was big on fight night by 4 pounds, but yeah, that's one motherfucker. Like, come on, like, anybody, if you fighting at 140 and you weighing in on fight night at 156, you're a weight bully. Plain and simple. Like for you to be in your right division, you need to be Mayweather, Pacquiao type. I weigh in at 147, 148, and on fight night I'm 150. Like, you know, 3 pounds away from the weight. And hardly nobody's in the right fucking division. But anyways, Virgil Hunter did a great interview. I feel like Ward's accomplishments speak for itself. His resume speaks for itself. His skills speak for itself. Come on, like, and I'm not gonna lie, like, Kovalev was the killer at the time, but when you really start breaking shit down, who did Kovalev beat? And it's funny, I actually thought about that, so a thought popped into my head today. when I was, you know, just thinking about all this shit, and I'm like, damn, yo, fucking, but dude Jack has a better resume than Kovalev. And I know some of y'all be like, yo, you bugging. I really think about it though. What he beat, Pascal, and a 50 Hopkins don't count. Jean Pascal, at that point, a lot of people would have fucking beat Jean Pascal. But dude Jack resume is fucking probably, well, not probably, is better than fucking Kovalev. So it's like, you know, resumes I guess don't count. People gonna use one thing to defend one guy, but then when that don't work to defend their guy, they switch up their whole fucking script. All this shit to me needs to stop. It's annoying. These guys aren't pound for pound. Stop saying it. They could be top 10, whatever the fuck y'all want to say they are, but they're not ahead of Ward, not by a long shot. Teddy Atlas, I don't know. Well, you know, top ranked fighters are on ESPN now, so I don't know. Maybe that's his agenda. But if it's his agenda, it is what it is. If it's not his agenda and he genuinely thinks Lomachenko is number one, then he's a damn fool. And I don't know how y'all would respect him enough to you know, value what he says if the guy says Vasyl Lomachenko is number one, just beating Gary Russell and the fucking Axeman. Like, this shit is ridiculous. Is it dope that he beat them within 9 fights? That's dope. But pound for pound number one, you barking up the wrong tree. Like, y'all gonna make people downplay these guys' great accomplishments. These guys are accomplishing great things, but when you bark up the wrong or bark up too far up the tree to the top dog, you're gonna make these guys look stupid. Even I think they asked Crawford after he knocked Ndongo out, he was about Ward, and he was like, yeah, I think this puts me ahead of Ward. I could be wrong, but if I'm right, then he was dumb for saying, what the fuck are you talking about, Crawford? You know you're not at Ward's level, not resume wise. It's easy to look how these guys, I don't want to say, I take that back. It's not easy to look how they look, but when you're a skilled fighter like Crawford or like Lomachenko and you're talented, of course you're going to shine against a certain level of competition. We need to see you against A-level motherfuckers and a whole bunch of different styles so your true colors could come out. That's what we're waiting to see. And I love that Virgil said that, you know, Lomachenko got the potential to be a number one down the line. Just like I feel Crawford definitely has the potential to be a number one down the line, but that's down the line. Let them get to that point. Y'all, like, why y'all jumping the gun? Take it easy. Let them show what they got to show. They might be better than y'all thought. And you know, if they are, and if they are, I'm happy for them because I love boxing. And if you prove that you're the best, then fuck it. I'll ride with you. I definitely will ride with you. You just got to earn your stripes. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But yeah, anyways, guys, it's a cool little video. FightHype.com, go check them out. It's the Virgil Hunter one. And I completely agree with Virgil Hunter. I'm glad he spoke on it. I just feel like he was a little soft when it came to speaking about Crawford. I feel like he has to mention Crawford too because it's just as many people saying Crawford is number one as it is saying Lomachenko is number one. And they're both fucking delusional as fuck. So I feel like he should have spoke on both of them and not just single one out. But anyway, y'all, hit that notification bell. Leave me a like. Tell me what y'all think below. If y'all really think these guys is pound for pound, which they're not, you could try to explain why, but they're not number one. Like, and I feel deep down y'all know that. But this is your boy Blanco from Sports Match. I'ma holla at y'all in the next one, and I'm going. 1.